Hey guys, it's been a while. Taking a little bit of a break from shooting videos. Um, I wanted to talk about a product that I use because I'm super busy, and I'm on salary. I work a lot of hours a week. I leave early, get home late, so I don't have as much time sometimes to do water changes as I'd like or maintenance. So I try and set up my tanks in a way that are least amount of maintenance, but also have things on hand that I can just use a quick fix. And one of those tools that I use is Sea Nopox. So what does it do? It basically controls nitrate, phosphate, and things of that nature. So not necessarily per se an ammonia control, but if you have high nitrates and phosphates, this will attack those. And if you're not able to get to water changes a ton of the time, this is definitely going to help. This is one of many tools in the arsenal. Now, of course, the other tools, or tool I should say, that I really like to use, this is my go-to, is I don't have an RO system yet, but I do use microbe lift for conditioning the water so that it's ready to go into the reef tank. You don't just put it in straight tap water. I actually did that once upon a time at work tanks, and it was okay, but that normally that's not the case. Your water's going to be have too much chlorine and heavy metals and such. That's really not good for your reef tank. Now, this can be used two ways. You can use it when you're adding water to an auto top off or a water change, or if you have a spike in ammonia and you don't have time to get to a water change, there's directions on what to do in that situation, and you can use like Sea Prime is a good one. I like that one too. And this one you can find at Petco. I think you can find a lot of these online too, but Microbe Lift, they have a whole line. I like them, and one of the reasons I like them is because they have ick treatment and disease treatment, and it saved my some of my fish that got ick. I followed the instructions, and it literally cleared up the disease. So I became a believer in the product, and this is my go-to. But really, any of them will work. Now, of course, before you use the product to get rid of the ammonia, you definitely want to do an ammonia test. I have some time today, so I'm going to be doing a water change because my ammonia has spiked a little bit, probably because I just throw in a little bit too much food before I go to work, and I've added, I have some spaghetti worms that kind of are going crazy in the tank, and I think that's a sign that the nutrients are a little high as well. I mean, spaghetti worms aren't the end of the world. They're good filter feeders, but if they go too crazy, they climb on the rocks, they can hurt your corals from stress. But yeah, for the most part, spaghetti worms aren't a big deal unless they overproduce. So maybe getting ahead of them, like I got a arrow crab to eat some of them, and I'm looking into getting rid of bile fish because bile fish like to eat those guys. But yeah, and then I don't know if I've shown you guys really too much of the new tank. Really, I really need to get a filter on my camera lens, but because it's just so blue, but it's actually doing a pretty good job today. We're looking at all the corals. Of corals are doing well. There's my fire and ice zoanthid. I forget those green ones are called. And then I have the watermelon buttons, and right below them are the pink color form Sunny D's. Mohicans is what I was told they're called. Some more of the greens. Some more of the button rocks. Some Garniopora. And then that's pretty much it in this tank. I kind of want this to be a zoa garden. And there's all my fish. Another really effective way of nutrient control is if you have a separate tank, like a hospital tank. I shouldn't have put her in there. She's not a bad fish, but if anyone knows anything about maroon clowns, they can get pretty big. They can get a little aggressive. So she's kind of preventing me from putting smaller fish in there right now. So I really want to get rid of her. Let's see if I can position the camera so I can show you a trick. I don't want to kill her. I just want to transfer her to a different tank. You know what? We're going to set up the camera right here. We're going to get I'm going to show you my attempt to catch her. Let's see if we can do this. It's going to be tricky. I'm going to reverse it. Here we go. And I think that's probably good. Okay, so what you could do, and I hope this works, you can feed the fish and get them to come to the top. A lot of clowns are pretty territorial, pretty aggressive. So if I she doesn't know this net is up here, but if I put my hand in the tank and I go over in her area, right, I'm going to start moving stuff around, pretending like I'm getting in there. She might get a little feisty with me. I'm going to kind of focus her on my hand, right? And if she might already know my trick, but if I go to the top, right, and I'm just pretending, she's looking at my hand, she's not looking at the net. She's really I'm trying to get her to go kind of over here, away from the center column, so I can come down and get her. I want her to really come out of my fingers. Almost like luring her to bite my fingers, We'll poke the rock, poke, poke, poke. Oh, yeah, she's kind of being territorial, but she's cautious. She knows. I got her in the net and she jumped out already once. So, we're only going to get one shot at this, but I really need her to focus more on my hand. And I see if she'll... Whoa, come here, girl. You start showing your threat? Come on, bring it. Come on, girl. See, she's already kind of figured out my trick. We're going to give it another shot. Let's see if I can... See, she knows. The idea is to have them focus on something other than the net, so they don't know the net's there, and then you come in kind of behind them and kind of sandwich them. So let's try maybe putting a little food in there. Maybe something that floats a little bit. Gotta really be patient, because she's only gonna give you one shot, See, I missed. Now she knows. Now she knows. Now she's on high alert. She's like, oh shit, the net came in. And she actually came from a different tank, but you can see, I don't really want to pull apart this rock work, but I do eventually want to add other fish. Smaller fish, nano fish that are really pretty, and she probably will kill them, being as territorial as she is. She's not terribly large. I had a big cinnamon clown that was just evil. Let's see, we're gonna maybe try one more time. See if I can maybe put some in the tank that she's not familiar with, that she might throw up a threat. Let's see. She kind of knows what my hand is. See if she gets bold. Yeah, she's like, I know what you're doing, man. She's on to me. I gotta find her in an aggressive mood. Try and do that again. Yeah, she just. Oh yeah, I'll show you a couple other inhabitants. So when I was telling you about the spaghetti worms, those guys will do a really good job keeping them in check. You might need a couple. He's not a fix-all, but he definitely will eat their tentacles and pull them out if they're bold enough to be out on the surface. And I have a big emerald crab right there as well. Really good. If you have algae or you're trying to get ahead of algae, these guys are great. Really, the key with crabs is they have to be fed or they'll start feeding on each other. So really make sure that you're feeding him, because he's a pretty big boy. And if he's not fed, he's going to start going after stuff. Snails, other crabs, you know, so. Well, guys, other than that, I think, you know, Skimmer's doing really well. I failed with the Chaeto, so I'm going to try that again. I don't know if this light was too powerful or not powerful enough. But I have my rubble pile. I have amphipods going in there. So, really, that's it. Peace out, guys.